You're watching 2 Alive News, your only local HD newscast, with Kelly Lully, Vinny Lully, and weather from Storm Center 2 with Nick Lully. Broadcasting from Holiday Harbor on 2alive.com, the news starts right now. Now, from 2 Alive News, this is breaking news on developing Tropical Storm Fay. Here now is Vinny Lully.
Hey everyone, I'm Vinny Lully. We're coming to you live now with breaking news. Due to an upgraded disturbance in the tropics, we are coming to you live from our Pottsburg studios due to errors in transmissions in our main studios. We're going to go live now in the studios with Nick. Nick, what do you have for us?
Well, Vinny, it's been a very interesting situation that we've been following much of the course of this tropical disturbance, and we actually really thought it was a tropical storm, and now the name of this tropical storm is Fay. We thought it was Tropical Storm Fay yesterday and really the day before, and local meteorologists such as Mike Bursch, our friend at CBS 47, and also Dr. Jeff Masters from the popular weather website weatherunderground.com, all thought this was a tropical storm, and even as a tropical depression, they refused to classify it, and it actually was never actually a tropical depression. It went straight to Fay today at 5 p.m., which is about 5 minutes ago. Vinny, this storm is heading for Florida. We're not sugarcoating anything, folks. This is headed towards Florida.
Well, Nick, and what I think is that we've become very complacent, particularly here in Jacksonville. And the people just figure, you know, they've gotten ready too many times, you know, 4 years ago, and it never really came here. But this one, I mean, every model out there has this thing headed, you know, at least near Jacksonville. And what's even more alarming is we're not going to get the eye. We're going to get the hard part. We're going to get the very powerful forces of the outer bands. And I think everybody here in Jacksonville better batten down the hatches and get their hurricane preparedness kits ready, because this one really looks for real this time.
That's true, Vinny. And actually, everyone, the National Hurricane Center uses the mean as in the average of all the model tracks to determine their official track. And the official track puts as of the preliminary, and this is just the first track they've had at 5 p.m., so we take it with a grain of salt. But the official track the National Hurricane Center has released has the storm over us, over Jacksonville, Duval County, and the surrounding areas, the first coast, at, I believe it's 2 p.m. on Wednesday, Vinny. So, and it had this tropical storm status. Now, all our bridges are closed down. According to Michelle Jacobs, the traffic producer at CBS 47, she says it's the JSO's discretion, but in 2004 they closed down our bridges at 35 to 40 miles per hour, sustained winds. Now, I'm going to bring up a graphic right now of those models that the National Hurricane Center actually uses. And as you can see there, folks, it is bringing it in the general direction towards Florida. We'll be right back.
Nick Lully is the Hurricane Kid tracking weather on 2 Alive News. Live the news.
And welcome back. I'm the Hurricane Kid, Nick Lully.
And I'm Vinny Lully.
Now, right now we're going to take a look at the Hurricane Kit, and actually from our friends at CBS 47 and Fox 30, their 2008 Summer Safety Guide with what you need to do when a hurricane is on the way. Actually, and we're now going to go through this Hurricane Kit in just a second, but when a warning is issued, you want to gather your important documents and make sure they're waterproof. That's insurance policies and other documents, birth certificates and identification, such like that. Also, make sure you have enough stuff for your pet, including pet food, and you want to make sure that they have enough stuff in the same thing, a gallon of water per day if you have a lot of pets. You want to turn your refrigerator and freezer to the coldest setting, so if the power is knocked out in your area, your food will stay colder longer. And you also want to turn off your gas and water lines if you are evacuating, and make sure everything in your yard is secured. Bring in outdoor furniture, Vinny. Bring in also lawn decorations, lawn gnomes, if you happen to collect those. Now, Vinny, we're going to turn to you now with what's in our Hurricane Kit and maybe what we need to get tonight.
Well, Nick, some of the things that we, you know, this might be a typical hurricane kit that you may have in your home or that you may want to make up. Besides maybe a smaller waterproof container for, like Nick said, your documents. Some things that we have in here are some portable fans that run off the batteries, because remember, the hurricane season is during the hottest months of the year. So, you know, if that power goes out because of a hurricane and you're kind of sheltered inside your home or whatever, you're going to need some sort of air circulation. So these are a nice thing to have. Are they a necessity? No, but they definitely make it more comfortable if you're holed up. Some other things, Nick, that we might have in here is some different dry foods that you know, because remember, if the power goes out and you start to lose all the food in your refrigerator, you're going to need some things to eat, particularly if it's a couple days. So we have some things like Cheez-Its and some cans of soup and things like that, along with some basic utensils. We have some plastic forks and spoons and cups, because all these things, remember, they can just be thrown away, and you're not going to have a dishwasher, and you're probably not going to have water and those things. So you're going to need this. Besides, remember that we need a gallon of water per person per day, Nick. So you're going to have to stock up. That's one of the biggest things. Our general rule is you can go 3 weeks without food, only 3 days without water, and 3 minutes without air. So, water is a very important, essential thing, fresh water to have. Some other things, Nick, that we have in here are flashlights that we keep. And a very important thing is we have our first aid kit here. And we have all kinds of bandages and ointments and antibiotic creams and things like that, just in case of injuries during a hurricane. Some things that we have in front here, Nick, we have, this is a little portable power station. We have basically some 12-volt DC outlets on it. A lot of times you can get these for just around $80 to $100. That'll actually have 120-volt AC type outlets on it. And this, of course, has an emergency light on top and also some jumper cables for your car. These are a nice thing to have. Again, not a necessity, but it is definitely something nice to have. And we have our flashlights here with our weather band radio on it, so we can keep track of the storm even with the power out. And of course, this is a battery-powered lantern, Nick. And maybe the most important thing, Nick, that we're going to need besides water during this whole thing are batteries. Because obviously all this stuff runs off of batteries. We don't have any batteries right now, which we're going to be getting for this hurricane kit. But these are just some ever-ready D batteries, which would go in this type of thing and most of your flashlights. And you may want to actually pick up some AA's for anything that you may have a small weather band, transistor radio, or things like that.
Very true, Vinny. Now, we are going to be keeping you updated throughout the weekend and into the beginning of next week as Tropical Storm Fay continues to chug its way into the Florida and maybe even the Gulf of Mexico. And as things get going in the tropics, we are still going to be here to keep you covered. Tonight, I'm Nick Lully.
And I'm Vinny.
We'll be back this weekend on 2 Alive News.